Welcome back to the Dragon Den, my loyal Dragonites. King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Classic Superman. And so here we have Classic Superman pose and out of the packaging, but before we have a look at the figure, let's run through his accessories. Superman does come with 3 different pairs of hands, which all look really good. Other than that, Superman doesn't come with any other accessories, so with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at DC Classics Superman. McFarlane Toys has done a really good job capturing the image of classic Superman and bringing it into this action figure. Utilizing that Page Puncher Superman, which I think was a really good body, was a smart move by McFarlane Toys. Taking a look at his head sculpt, Superman is sporting this really big grinning head sculpt. I wasn't really a fan of it at first, but having it out of package, it's starting to grow on me. A very cheerful-eyed Superman looks really good, and the smile is actually pretty nice. Add to it, he does have that classic Superman hair with the S-curl, which looks amazing here. As far as Superman's outfit goes, he does utilize that Page Puncher Superman body, which I thought was a really good Superman body. One thing to love about this figure is that he has that baby blue outfit, which looks very good here. It does a really good job contrasting the bright red of the S-shield, which looks amazing here, and because it is the Page Puncher Superman, it is a sculpted S-shield as well. His arms look really good, carrying over that impressive sculpt work, both in terms of the costume and the musculature. And because he is reused from that Page Puncher Superman, he does have the wrist cuffs, which aren't really classic, but it doesn't bother me here. But something to note is because he is using that Page Puncher body, he has these oversized hands, which do look kind of awkward. Superman is sporting his traditional red trunks, which look really good here, and I love the yellow belt it's painted on. The dual layered belt has the S-shield on the front, which is sculpted beautifully here. And I love the fact that you can see some seam lines running down the sides of his trunks. Superman still has really muscular legs, which look really good here in the baby blue outfit, and you can see some wrinkles on his clothing. More specifically on the inner parts of his thighs and around his knees, they did a really good job sculpting all those folds and wrinkles. And a nice carryover from the trunks is that the seam line continues down his legs. It all culminates into Superman's bright red boots, which look amazing here, and I love the shade of red that McFarlane used for his boots. The top of his boots have a cuff which is very similar to his wrist cuffs, but it doesn't bother me here as it still looks part of the outfit. And the sculpt work in his feet is done very well, with some added detail done on the bottom of his boots. Just like with the original Page Puncher Superman, he does have this strange cape, which I honestly am still not a fan of. It's almost like the cape doesn't know which direction to fly in, and it really does bother me because I would have loved to see a more flowing cape. But overall, the color scheme here on Superman is gorgeous. That baby blue looks amazing, and the red that contrasts it is perfect. So with his details out of the way, let's get Superman compared to our usual suspects. Here we have Superman posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and DC Multiverse Superman. Mattel's WWE Elite Series and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man, the Lightning Collection White Ranger, and the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally we have the DC Classic Superman posed next to the Action Comics Superman and the Hush Superman. So overall, he's still a very good looking Superman, and it does look good when you have him posed next to other McFarlane figures. However, being a McFarlane figure, he will be slightly taller than your traditional 6-inch figures, so you really can't mix and match him there. With the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Superman's articulation. Superman has a double ball joint in the head, ball sockets in his shoulders, arms do go out to the side and do a full 360. Swivel at the bicep and double hinged elbows. Ball hinges in his wrists. Superman has a ball joint in his upper torso and a ball joint in his lower torso. Legs do kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a slight thigh swivel. A double hinge in his knees. Ball hinges in his ankle, and finally a toe hinge. So the DC Classic Superman does have the standard McFarlane articulation scheme, which works perfectly here for Superman. With everything said and done about the DC Multiverse DC Classic Superman, let's get him posed for my final thoughts. The McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse DC Classic Superman is a very impressive figure, and I'm actually impressed at how much I'm actually enjoying it. Just from the base body alone, being that Page Punches Superman, I knew I was going to like the way this figure moves, but I'm honestly enjoying it more than I thought. The head sculpt is actually growing on me. A lot of people are upset at how McFarlane sculpts Superman heads, but I think it's about time we finally got a smiling Superman head. Add to it the lighter baby blue used for his outfit was the perfect call by McFarlane, as this does harken back to a lot of classic Superman moments. The baby blue does a really good job contrasting the red, which is also nice and vibrant and stands out really well here. Add to it the articulation on this figure works perfectly, and you can get this Superman in a lot of great poses. I think my main issues with this figure have to be with the cape and his hands. I really wasn't a fan of how they designed his cape on that original figure, and the fact they carried it over here does annoy me slightly. Add to it he does have baseball mitt hands, which are kinda jarring on this small statured Superman. However, if you can look past his giant oven mitts for hands and the awkward cape, it's still a really solid figure. And like I said, the head sculpt does grow on you the more you have it out, and it really does look like a classic version of Superman. At the time of making this video, this version of Superman is actually kind of hard to come by. He's sold out in most places online, and I did have to find him at Target. If you can find this Superman, definitely don't pass on him, because you're probably going to enjoy him more when you get him out of packaging, and don't let other collectors tell you that it's a bad figure just because they don't like this head sculpt. So with that being said, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other action figure and DC Multiverse videos. If you're in a position to help out the Dragon Den, check out my Patreon, where I have exclusive content and early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, the recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my fellow Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm KingofDragons 5000, reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.